Thank you, Honorable Member. May her soul rest in peace. Honorable Clerk, can we proceed?
Motion. Debate on the State of the Nation Address 2022 by His Excellency the President, represented by His Excellency the Vice President.
Thank you, Clerk. Honorable members, I recognize the presence of His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic, representing the President on this debate. Honorable members, may I request that any honorable member who wishes to take part in the debate raise his or her constituency tag, and we will be able to record the names. However, before giving any member the floor, may we remind ourselves to respect the rules of the debate. On order number 29 of the standing orders, which reads, every member shall restrict his or her observations to the subject matter under discussion. Furthermore, order 31 also reads, debate upon any motion or amendment to a motion, or upon any bill, part of a bill or amendment to a bill, shall be relevant thereto, except in the case of a motion for the adjournment of the Assembly. Honorable members, I therefore call on all honorable members to respect and observe the rules as indicated. I thank you. I now open the floor for any honorable member who may want to take the floor on the debate. Honorable Member for Combo South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I also want to join you to welcome the Vice President to the debate. And I don't know to what extent did the Director of Parliamentary and Legislative Matters and also the Table Office invited all the other ministers of this great nation. We've said this over and over during the 5th legislature, that we cannot be talking to ourselves here. The ministers have to come and listen to what the members are saying, because that's the responsibility, and we are in for our people, we are representing our people. And the core importance of this, our process, is legislation. So when we are in the chambers, it is important that the Vice President and all the ministers are present here to listen to what the members are going to say, because the President's address anchored on all the ministries, departments and agencies of this country. So that will also ease the burden on the Vice President for the ministers to be here and listen for follow-ups and other engagements with the National Assembly. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity also to thank the President for fulfilling the constitutional requirement of the 1997 Constitution, Section 71 and 2, which stipulates the presence of the President to at least come to the National Assembly once and brief the parliamentarians on the status of programs and activities of the government, and also to share some of the information that have been presented by different ministries, departments, and agencies. Our standing order, also 24, call on the President, and this one was more elaborate, Honorable Speaker. It gave a specific time for the President to deliver his presentation. And I think that one we should all try. There again, the Director of Parliamentary Affairs and the Table Office has clearly stated in Standing Order 24 that the President should do his address, shall do this address during the first quarter of the year. That is more democratic, and that is what entails in other jurisdictions and other countries that are doing the same thing. Because that will give the National Assembly members the opportunity to follow up and also work with other institutions, departments, and agencies in their oversight visits to be able to follow up all that had been enumerated or said by the President during his address. Looking at our tight schedules, this is the third ordinary session, Honorable Speaker. The fourth ordinary session is geared towards the budget session, which is going to be very tight, and this 2023 budget session is going to be an extraordinary one, because there are a lot of things that we need to look into. So I want to employ on the Director of Parliamentary Affairs and the Table Office to engage the executive so that the President can come to the chambers here to deliver his address to the nation. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, now I'm going into detail on what the President had submitted to the Gambian people. I must say, introduction was said and all the things that have been said, but I have not heard any strategy that has been laid by the government in the after effect of COVID-19 that has devastated the nation, which was unexpected. At this time, we should be able to know clearly what are the strategies that the government is going to take so that we are more prepared and post-COVID-19 will be able to do it. The more talk that is going around the world, how far has the Ministry of Health gone with the vaccination of the Gambian citizens? How many people have been vaccinated in this country? And what is the rate? And how do we do to implement these things? All the funds that have been acquired and disbursed to the Ministry of Health have not been enumerated, especially the fund that was out of the 750 million or 734 thereabout that went to the Ministry of Health towards the COVID-19. All the details have to be done. Honorable Speaker, I think the report also lacks a lot of statistical data. We have said this over and over. Statistics is the bedrock of development, and it helps us to do our planning and help us to go do things as we go along in the implementation of our programs. So I think giving us statistics on the issues and programs that have been said and done will enable us and help us to be able to see where are the gaps and where do we build on so that we are safe as a nation. Because without correct statistical data, it is going to be difficult for us to do real budgeting and also improve the status and livelihood of the Gambian people. Honorable Speaker, on finance, that's the bedrock of our entry point. I have not seen what the ministry have not given us the details, the rebound of the agenda and also the low rate of budgetary support. What were the details? Why was that not forthcoming as stated in the report? That will also help us to inform us when we come to the preparation of the 2023 budget. Are we still going to rely on budgetary support from our partners and donors? If they are not forthcoming, do we still continue to put them in our budget line? So, Honorable Speaker, that's also a thought for the FPAC committee to engage during our bilaterals that will be done in November to ensure that we take care of these things. Honorable Speaker, another important aspect that has been left out by the Ministry of Finance, the popular vehicle policy. What is the status? The former minister had informed us that the government is reviewing that policy and it will work on it and report back to the National Assembly. Over $300 million is being misused as per the Act. And still now, more budgetary allocations are going to the purchase of vehicles for running into ministries and departments and agencies as pools and also as to be used by officials that are working in the various ministries. For running into ministries and departments and agencies as pools and also as to be used by officials that are working in the various ministries, departments and agencies. Honorable Speaker, looking at the constitution, the condition of the country, the economic downtrend that is happening in the world all around, there is a need for this vehicle policy to come back and be looked at so that the $3 million or above that is being used will go into other service areas into health, education, and agriculture. Honorable Speaker, I think that's been said. We need to also ensure that when it comes to decentralized services in the budget, I think that's an issue that we need to look at and see how it is being implemented by the Ministry of Finance. Honorable Speaker, my next point will be on the petroleum and energy. As I said, I keep on saying here, Kombo South is the biggest constituency in this country, and I want to give some statistics. If you look at the population of Kombo South as a constituency, we have over 200,000 people there, 72,000 registered voters, over 7 major health centers, the biggest constituency with the national resources that have more than 5 fish landing sites in this country. Agricultural production is very there, the land is fertile and everything is there. But we have a big problem with our electricity and water supply. The water supply coming into the greater Banjul area, all the boreholes were dug in Kombo South, and we still have major towns in Kombo South that are grappling with water supply. So, Honorable Speaker, and I think the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum should look into this so that the people of Kombo South, with the fish landing sites, can be able to descale, prepare the fish, prepare them for marketing, and also storage facilities that will help the people of Kombo South to improve the productivity and the economic status of those people. Electricity is very key, and as I said, linking it up to the fisheries production and also vegetable gardening, Kombo South has the biggest land area for vegetable production in this country. The women vegetable growers are complaining and they are crying that there are no storage facilities that will enable them to keep their produce, that will help them to be able to bring them out to have more money when there is shortage in the market. And those are areas that have been identified. The Vegetable Growers Associations have engaged the Ministry of Agriculture, and the key areas that need to be done is to improve and increase electricity supply in those areas so that, Honorable Speaker, we can have better storage facilities for the women in their production, and also the GIGA projects and other projects that are coming to encourage women and young school leavers and other entrepreneurs into poultry farming. And those things cannot be done without adequate electricity supply. So Kombo South, as I said, is an area that we need to see, and we need to look at it in all our development aspects, as you said. As I said, the statistical data. If you look at the whole of LRR, all their votes together, Kombo South alone is more than them by 17,000 votes. All the 6 constituencies in LRR. So that's why it is important that any development that is going to be done, looking at these key areas, we need to be able to do it to improve the income intake of the people. Honorable Speaker, coming to agriculture, and as I said, that also brings me back to Kombo South again. It has the biggest land cover, the soil is fertile. The President talked in his speech about the tractors, but I don't think the ministry or those who prepared the report have given him the details of those tractors, how they were distributed, and what is behind the distribution. How are the farmers going to generate or to have access to those tractors? Who are managing those tractors? The funds that are derived, what are they going to do to improve the agricultural production of our farmers? That is the bedrock of our community and our country as a developing country. And if we said 75% of our production is coming from agriculture. Honorable Speaker, both the President and the former member of the National Assembly of Lower Badibu have said during the President's tour that fertilizer that was supposed to go to the farmers have been taken by unscrupulous people to unknown destinations, and nothing is being said, Honorable Speaker. Where we are now, farmers have been complaining, the rainy season is just ending, because of the high rate of the fertilizer, nothing is happening. So, Honorable Speaker, I think those are areas that one need to look at, and we need to get the farmers at the center of our development program if we want to move as a country, and to ensure that agricultural production is at the best stage, and so that the farmers can be alleviated in poverty that they have been struggling over the last 50 years. Honorable Speaker, coming into defense, And I'm going to go back again. Most of our communities on the West Coast are fishing communities. Most of them are becoming cosmopolitan towns now. Gunjur, Sanyang, Katong, Tanje. A lot of people are coming in and out. All the police stations on the West Coast, on the coastline in Combo South, are without proper vehicles that will enable them to patrol and do their work efficiently. The only military post that we have in that area is in Katong. And I think there's a need for them to spread and also increase the presence of the military personnel along the coastlines from Katong right down to Brufut, because Brufut is the last one that Tanje and Brufut are just very close. Brufut is in Sanimentreng. Because there are a lot of activities, there is a lot of insecurity, a lot of young people had been killed over just only in 2021. About 5 young people were killed along that coastline. And the one that is more disheartening and also is still a pain is the killing of Buba Jammeh of Gunjur by somebody who had not been arrested and taken to Mile 2 prisons to wait for trial. They opened the door for that guy to escape. Nobody knows where that guy is. And that is a pain in the family. So this shows the lapses in the security apparatus of this country, Honorable Speaker. And he talked about the Interior, the Ministry of Interior, and as I said, the issue of the police need to be looked into. The collection of funds, all these institutions collecting funds that are collecting funds, what is the government doing to ensure they appropriate certain amount towards the development and the running of their programs? All the police stations in Combo South do not have a roadworthy vehicle that they can do in their patrols. And as I said, some of the women will be leaving their houses by 3:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock, trying to go to Serekunda, trying to go to Brikama, and some of them are even coming to further places. So all these things, the security need to be looked into, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when it comes to my favorite, as I said, Ministry of Fisheries, though it's been said that the fishing agreement with the Senegalese government is going to come back to the National Assembly to be reviewed, but a lot needs to be done for the fishing communities, especially our young people and those who are involved in fishing activities. The activities, as been said by the minister when he was here last year, that they have signed a partnership with FAO and also the Japanese. But the status of implementation and the provision of fishing gears and the training of young people is something that is lacking, and it is demotivating the young people. And I think that statistical data needs to be available to give us those who are trained, where were they trained, which location did they come from, and how long was the training, what was provided to them, so that it will be easy for the committee responsible of environment, fisheries and water resources will do their monitoring and be able to follow up onto submissions that was made into the country. Honorable Speaker, land and regional governance comes back again to Combo South. The President has commissioned a land commission. 3 years down the line, nothing has been done. And the composition of that land commission does not meet the needs of the very people who are in the center of these land problems in the Gambia. There is nobody in that land commission who comes from Combo South, or who comes from Combo Central, or who comes from Sanementreng, or who comes from Busumbala or Yundum. So all those people who are there are people who do not have the background information on land tenureship and management in this country. So it is important that when we are Constitution Commission, we have people who have the expertise to be able to share their experiences and listen to the people and bring out reports that will help the people to move the agenda forward. And that when we are Constitution Commission, we have people who have the expertise to be able to share their experiences and listen to the people and bring out reports that will help the people to move the agenda forward. Honorable Speaker, as I said, 3 years down the line, we don't know what that land commission is doing, and no report is coming. You go to all the tribunals, the chief tribunals in West Coast region. All the major cases that are there is the problem of land between the state, the land agents and also individuals, and those are issues that we need to do. So I think there is a need to look at the composition and the reconstitution of the Land Commission, Honorable Speaker, so that the people's land can be done. And as I said, at the moment, there is a big problem in Gunjur, and the Minister of Strategic Development is in the center of that. He was the general manager of the Gambia Teachers Union. They bought a piece of land for the teachers in Gunjur. 5 years down the line, all the payments are done. Over $5 million went to that. A small boy less than 30 years, who do not even originate from Combo South, is claiming ownership over that land, Honorable Speaker. And I think this is something that the regional minister and his permanent secretary and his team, physical planning inclusive, need to go back to the drawing board and look at those issues. Honorable Speaker, the Gambia have a land tenure system. Gunjur was built in the 18th century. Berending came as a village that sprung up from Gunjur in 1921. So how can a 35-year boy claim that he has ownership over 500 hectares of land that does not belong to him? And his ancestors were not even from the Combo. They just come from Kiang's West. So these are some of the issues that we have to. And there are court cases that have given the right ownership to these families in the communities, that the land belongs to them. They have done tribunal cases, they have gone to the High Court, and all those things have given land to these people. And that very boy is the one who killed Buba Jammeh in Gunjur, and now he has absconded from the prison. The Minister of Interior told us that they are going to investigate that. I raised that question here, and they said the court is in the case in the court. They just opened the gate for him, broad daylight, and the boy escaped. On the 27th of December 2020, he is nowhere to be seen. So, Honorable Speaker, I think those are areas that we need to look into. Honorable Speaker, education is the key to development, and we need to be able to be serious with education. Our university is the highest institution for education in this country. We need to resource that institution. We need to give them the capacity to be able to be the eyes and ears of this country. Without a proper university, we are not going to move. The university, and I want to also thank the former Minister of Higher Education, that he has done and expanded the operations of the university, that MDI and GTTI are going to be university of their own, and they'll be doing. But what is needed now, Honorable Speaker, the structures, when they are put there, let us invent, let us put more resources into the university so that it can be the bedrock of all our development programs. And I think the university is neglected. We need to use the expertise of the university for all our work that we are going to do in all our departments and agencies. And I want to commend the UNDP for taking the lead in partnering with institutions, all the local councils, and even this National Assembly. At the moment, we have over 30 young people from the university who are here as interns, working towards and helping the parliamentarians in their research work, in their oversight functions, and also be able to link them with other institutions and do some research. So I think the Ministry of the Higher Education has to be helped so that when the new buildings are done, we resource them. The capacity is there. Let us stop talking that we do not have the capacity. The capacity is in the country. How do we manage that capacity and bring the people that matters into the center and bring them to be responsible of the decision-making processes that can help us to do? And talking about the institutions, I have to go back to the RDI, Rural Development Institute, which is under the Ministry of Local Government. There again, Honorable Speaker. All the major development workers of this country who had served the Department of Community Development as directors, most of them are working in the international arena as consultants, as experts, as advisors to communities, countries in the Caribbean, in Asia, as development programs. And we have them in the country here. All the former 4 directors of community development are in country. I don't want to name names. Those of you who have been in this country from 1979 to 1990, you know who they are. They were in the center of the decentralization process. We need to tap their expertise to revive that institute. Community development work is very key, it's the entry point for any development. And that's why all the community development assistants in the regions are assigned to be the Secretary General of the tax in all our regions because of their knowledge in community development. So that institute is dying down, nothing is happening, the young people are frustrated, the curricula is very excellent. I have been to 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒏, and it's almost the same curricula that I spent 6 months in 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒏. It's almost the same thing that they are doing. So that institution, when it is revived, the young people will not even have the cost to travel to 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒏 in Buea town, now it's called a city in Cameroon. So I think it is important that more resources is given to those things. And they are following some of the projects that are working in the country to give them funds to reform, to revive those things so that the institutions can use that place for the training of their project staff and ensuring that they reach out to the communities. Honorable Speaker, Department of Strategic Policy, as I said, Honorable Speaker, some of the things that they are doing, how do we bring them together, not to have duplication in our agencies? Because they are doing almost the same work with community development, with water resources, and also NAWEC as the main supplier of water. So what do we do? And the bill that is going to be, that the plans, there are plans to have a bill that will come to have a water agency that will have to coordinate all the supplies of water in this thing. But how do we do? What do we do to have the strategies so that we have the synergy and the linkages to be able to put all these things and the coordination that is needed so that it's more coordinated at the level of the communities and also the beneficiaries are more trained to be able to do these things. Honorable Speaker, finally, I want to go to the Ministry of Gender. The National Assembly has ratified the bill that Enterprise Development Fund. You know, as I said, the statistics is not coming. $17 million is given. Who were the beneficiaries? What is this aggregation of data per region? We need to know who are those who benefited from that 17 million. How are the monies are disbursed? What are the following things? And all the criteria are set in that act now, because it is an act. This is already running and functional. So because the budget session is coming, we need to know those details when they come again so that we can say, yes, it's important we increase it to twofold because they are reaching out to the most vulnerable members of our community. And that is something that we need to do. Finally, Honorable Speaker, I want to say that there are happenings in this country, and I think it is about time that we speak about it. There are a lot of rumors of corruption going on in this country. Corruption is a killer, and it is happening, and people are saying, we need to come out and be bold enough to say, yes, it's happening. Who are the people who are in it, and what do we do? Honorable Speaker, I have seen in the newspapers, not quite long ago, that there was corruption at our main judiciary. I get shocked. And they are not talking about hundreds of thousands, millions. So a million now is, so that's why the boys in the street, they are saying, that million is nothing now, because they are giving billions free to people. So to talk about million is nothing. Honorable Speaker, I think these are very serious issues, and I think there is need for us to do it. The GPA thing, saga is going, I think it's with the committee here, GNPC,
Honorable Speaker,
the airport.
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
I am not giving him the chance. These are issues. Yeah. Yes.
Honorable Member, may we hear the point of order?
Yes, I'm here, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Standing Order 29, subsection 1, or clause 1, every member shall restrict his or her observation to the subject under discussion. The subject under discussion today, Honorable Speaker, is about the State of Nation address by the President. What the Honorable Member is trying to put across here today is extraneous to the issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. There's a point of order. There has to be ruling. Thank you very much, Honorable Member. The President's address is cross-cutting. It touches on every aspect of development in this country. So, Honorable Member, we will ask the Honorable Member to continue.
Honorable Speaker, I think the member was sleeping when the President himself was mentioning corruption in these chambers here. And all what I am saying are areas that have been dealt with the President. The judiciary, he talked about it, localizing and Gambianizing our judiciary. If there is a rumor that there is corruption in that sector, we need to talk about it. GPTC is a government agency, we need to talk about it. And then the airport fee, the $20 that is being collected by passengers, is also in the newspaper. So those are headline things that have happened. Honorable Minister, Honorable Speaker, the final thing, I think the Minister of Youth and Sports should resign. He had defrauded the country of over 3,000 euros, giving it to a wife who is not a member of a delegation and is a non-resident of the Republic of the Gambia, taxpayers' money, $170,000. So I think he should be ethically come forward and resign if the President or the executive do not want to sanction him. Honorable Speaker, I take my seat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Combo South. Honorable members, certain concerns affect Parliament, and they are noted. The President's address to the nation